Hey guys, so it's Tavin here. Something went wrong in the recording of this After the Hype review. It's really echoey and it cuts in and out a lot, and there's a lot of just the audio is just not good on this episode, and I'm sorry about that. I tried to fix it in post, couldn't really do anything about it, and again, it's all my fault. We'll have it fixed next time, but I figured I might as well go ahead and upload this and for posterity's sake, and let it be out there for the people. But yeah, this is not the best episode right here. If this is your first time clicking on a Two Penny Games Cast video, please go check out the channel. There's so many better ones here. If you came specifically for Mass Effect 2 Spoilercast, I'm afraid this is the best I got for you. But until the next time when we have it fixed and it sounds great, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and enjoy what you can of this one. All right, thanks guys, bye.
Well, say hello to the people, Phil.
Hello!
And welcome back to After the Hype, our review show for H.Y.E.P, H.Y.E.P, series we produce over at twitch.tv/2pennygames. Have you ever played?
I'm here, but I sound shittier.
You are here, you do sound shittier. The reason you sound shittier, Phil, is because we just finished recording the Two Penny Games Cast, episode 51. And today, Connor decided to join us in here for the Mass Effect 2 Spoilercast review.
I have some knowledge about Mass Effect 2, so I figured I'd drop my own opinions and beliefs on this amazing, wonderful game.
Wonderful game. Welcome to After the Hype, Connor. It's great to have you here for the first time. Now, Phil.
Yeah.
You here played, for the first time ever, Mass Effect 2.
I sure did. I did do that.
Go ahead. Give us your impressions. How did you feel about Mass Effect 2?
I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really fun. It's hard for me to say if it's better than Mass Effect 1 for me. I will say it probably is, just because I really want to play it more than I want to play the first one again.
Sure. Okay.
That's very different from what you were saying while you were playing 2.
I know. I'm surprised.
The
It's the ending, man.
That ending, man.
It's good. It is good.
Fucking crazy. So, just run down some quick facts. I don't know if you know this, Connor, because you don't listen to our content because you're a fake fan.
True.
I forgot to run down the stats in Mass Effect 1. Spoilercast. I forgot.
Okay.
I tried to do some stats. So, Mass Effect 1, just for quick recap, released November 16th, 2007. I had to do some digging for sales. The best I could figure out is that Wikipedia is telling me by the time Mass Effect 3 came out, 1 and 2 had combined sales of 7 million.
Oh.
2 has a total of 5 million. So, I'm assuming Mass Effect 1 has about 2 million sales.
Okay.
Probably more than that. Who knows? With a Metacritic of 91. Mass Effect 2 released January 26, 2010. 5 million in sales as of now. And 96 on Metacritic.
Okay.
So, higher Metacritic, higher sales. These are all to be expected because Mass Effect 2 was huge. Mass Effect 1, quite big. Mass Effect 2, different level.
A lot of people still seem to consider it the best one.
A lot of people do.
It's very good.
I am probably infamously not one of those people. I love Mass Effect 2. But I think 1 and 3, for different reasons, I just enjoy personally more.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to look at it critically, 2 is probably better than 1, but I just like 1 more. That's just me. Now, let's go ahead and recap, since this is an ongoing series, and it's a series about choices.
Indeed.
All right? Let's go ahead and recap me, Phil, and then we'll get Connor's choices here. Some of the important ones from the first game. So,
since you weren't there for the
Spoilercast because you bitched out on us. Like you bitched out on stream when you were supposed to watch the suicide mission.
Yep.
You didn't.
Hey,
you can do that.
The time was off.
Whatever. Anyway, so Mass Effect 1. Rachni. I saved.
I killed.
Phil killed.
Surprising.
Connor.
Saved.
Saved.
Because, why would I wipe out a race? I'm not racist.
I didn't say I was racist. I was afraid they were gonna do some shit because down the line is what I'm saying.
Dirty Rachni, huh?
No, because while this generation of Rachni might be good, the future generations down the line might cause some shit.
I guess we'll have to find out.
Are you the same as your ancestors?
Moving on.
Am I? I don't enslave people.
Moving on.
So you're not different.
Can we
please, you are different.
Please move on. Please move on. Rex. I saved. Phil.
I of course saved. It's my
Connor.
boy.
Saved.
Saved.
Yeah.
Vermeer survivor. Me, Ashley, Phil,
Ashley.
Connor,
Katie,
there we
you're
go.
going to see a theme of me doing decisions not because I want to do them, but because I hadn't done them before.
Oh, well, I wanted to save Caden, but my chat convinced me to let Caden go.
Oh, really?
So, there you go.
He wanted that dick.
Council, saved or dead. Me, saved. Phil,
Saved.
Connor,
Dead. Why would you guys? That's the one non-Paragon option I did that entire.
So, pretty much, me and Phil, exactly the same for the choices that matter. In the overall... Oh, also, council member Anderson.
Anderson.
All Anderson. And then romance, Liara all the way around. So, for the most part, we're all the same, except Connor likes to differ from us in a few interesting ways. Caden's alive, the council is dead. Phil, only one who killed the Rachna.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to Mass Effect 2, guys. Gets a little messier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As far as our choices go, yeah, that's where things get a lot different.
So, let's go ahead and get straight to the good, and then we'll double back and get to some of the nitty gritty stuff, the missions that we enjoyed, the storylines we enjoyed, the characters we loved. How did all of our suicide missions go? I'll go first. I saved everyone. Everyone is all 12 or 13, however many people. I think it's 12. All 12 people are alive. All 12 people are loyal to me. Phil.
Everyone's alive.
Everyone's alive.
Everyone lived.
You did it, big buddy.
And all but one are loyal, and that is Zaid.
Zaid is not loyal.
I somehow did not have enough Paragon points.
You failed the speech check
to get the speech check in order to, because I needed Paragon points from that mission specifically.
Now, Connor, how are your results?
Literally the same as Phil's. Everyone lived.
Zaid lives. No Zaid.
No Zaid. Because I didn't want people to burn alive. Neither did you.
No.
So.
Well, people didn't burn alive, but I'm a charismatic motherfucker.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. The game just gave you a bone, Tavin. That's the only reason why.
Gave me a bone at every dialogue option. So Phil.
Yeah.
Speaking on the suicide mission. How tense were you, buddy?
Oh my god, I was hyperventilating. I felt like my heart was beating so fast. I was stressed the fuck out.
Oh my god, Connor, you really did miss it, man. All those moments that you saw him, he was like, "Fuck, man, I don't know." Like times 10 for the suicide mission, bro. He was squirming at everything.
Now, because I didn't see it, Tavin, was there some situations where he almost failed? Or is he like pretty confidently always going to...
No, he nailed it all the way through.
Okay, so you
all the way through he nailed it. The only misstep is Zaid's loyalty, but literally all of his picks for who does what job are the same picks I did. So Tally is your engineer, Garrus is your second team leader.
Engineer, the one who goes to the dust?
The one that goes...
Oh, I've never done Tally.
You've never done Tally?
Yeah, funny enough.
Do you do Legion?
No. I did Legion the first time I played the game ever, which I'm surprised that worked. And then I did Kasumi, because I liked that character, and I wanted her to go and try it.
I guess Kasumi does make sense. Man, there's a lot of people you can choose to
tech,
do the tech role under.
Yep.
Yeah. Secondary team, not so much. Pretty much just down to Garrus and Miranda.
Can the first team have anybody?
You can do Jacob.
You can do Jacob?
Yeah.
You looked that up? Oh, okay. Huh?
Can the first team have anybody and it'll work?
That split offs and
the people
you need Garrus, Miranda, or apparently Jacob.
The people you bring with you. The people you bring with you. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're gonna live. And as long as they're loyal, they're gonna live.
Yeah.
And then what's after that? It's another secondary team split off. Garrus again.
Yeah.
And then you send someone back to get your people back. And when we say everyone lived, we also do mean
The crew members.
The crew members. Yes. Kelly Chambers, I think is the only one.
Chakwas.
Is the only named character at risk. Oh, of course. If you send Chakwas back with the wrong person, Chakwas dies.
The engineers are always my concern.
Oh, the engineers are great too. I love the engineers.
Yeah.
The pair.
Yeah, the pair.
That always had random dialogue.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And then since we're here, let's go ahead and talk about.
There was a funny bit where the male engineer was hitting on not directly towards her, but checking Tally out and telling the other engineer, and Tally's like,
dude,
I can hear you.
That dude is a horn dog.
And he doesn't stop.
It doesn't. Every single character, every female character's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck that bitch.
I'm gonna fuck that bitch.
Anyway, since we're here, let's go ahead. Collector base. I destroyed. Phil
destroyed.
Connor
saved.
You saved it. You gave it to Cerberus.
I said to them before the show, solely because I always destroy it. In every gameplay I've ever done.
You're just gonna hand that shit to the elusive man?
I am. Yeah.
To Tim.
I'll be honest. I forget what happens if you give the base to the elusive man.
I'm curious. What if does anything happen?
I think it's only a contextual thing. Like it changes some dialogue. I don't think it changes anything like mechanical.
I was afraid it would, but it would do that.
There might be you might have to fight like stronger enemies. I don't know.
Martin Sheen.
I'm not. I don't. Couldn't tell you.
Eh.
Anyways, so let's go ahead. Let's double back. Let's get into some nitty gritty. Mass Effect 2, man, what a game, right?
It's a great game.
Great fucking game.
I wish they didn't get rid of the fucking overcharge mechanic. With guns.
The overheating guns. Yeah. So let's dive straight into gameplay. Mass Effect 2 infamously, well, maybe not so infamously, in the eyes of the fans, pulled back on a lot of the RPG mechanics, made it a little more of a third-person action game. Your classic 7th generation cover-based shooter, chest-high walls. You can see the battlefield before it even kicks off. Ammo type switches from a heat mechanic, like Phil said, to your regular ammo count, so you have to reload now.
And you can run out of ammo.
Abilities switch from each individual ability having a cooldown to they all share the same cooldown.
Dumb.
And there's things like inventory isn't really a thing you micromanage anymore, so it's not like you're swapping out a bunch of different guns for stat boosts or anything. You have a gun, you find another one later. We all played the Legendary Edition, so obviously, like, there's more DLC weapons added and DLC skins added.
Right.
And then, the upgrade tree dramatically reduced to really just a couple of options. But granted, instead of things like where the original upgrade tree in the first game is really just stat boosts, it's just increasing numbers to become more powerful. In this one, it's kind of that all the way through until you get to the final upgrade, in which you get basically the choice between, do you want this power to affect one dude really, really heavily, or a couple of dudes?
Multiple, yeah.
Radius increase for your
and that's pretty much how it works for every type of power or anything, except for obviously they included instead of it being a modification you put on your weapon, now there's a elemental ammo types that you apply, kind of works like an ability instead of something that you just put on your gun. In the first game. That one, obviously, hey, it just works better, or hey, you give it to your whole squad. Very useful. How do we overall feel about all of these gameplay changes? Phil, as the newbie, go ahead.
I'm not a huge fan. I really dislike. I'm at this point. I'm with Tavin. I wish they had stuck more RPG based. Sure, I like the combat and the shooting. It's tighter overall, but they take away a lot of abilities and they get rid of overheat, make you able to run out of ammo. I just really dug in the first game where essentially you could have a weapon and upgrade yourself so far and be so well equipped that you pretty much never overheat, and you can just feel like a badass and just keep firing and firing and firing. And I hate the ability changes. I hate that everything's on a cooldown. I hate that.
On a single cooldown.
Yeah, and rather than being able to...
I mean, if you look at it from a gameplay design perspective, I mean, I'm with you. I just like the first one's gameplay more. I felt more free. I felt
like I had more agency.
Yeah, I had more agency on the field. I felt more empowered. But at the same time, Mass Effect 1 can be a trifling bitch.
Yeah, sure.
You can be dead real quick in Mass Effect 1 and feel like the game is punishing you for no reason.
I just felt overall way more powerful in 1 rather than 2.
But if you look at it from a gameplay design perspective, the environments in 1 are way wider. You're fighting way more dudes moment to moment. So it makes sense to, you're slimming down the combat arenas in 2. You're slimming down the number of enemies in a room at one time in 2. So it makes sense to unify all powers to one cooldown. Each class now has their own exclusive abilities in 2. Whereas in 1, there were 3 main classes and then hybrids of each of those.
Yeah.
So you didn't really get any exclusive power. So, for example, Phil played an Infiltrator. He has the Incinerate ability. I played what did I play? You played Vanguard, right?
I played Vanguard.
You're
Yes.
Vanguard, so I'm Sentinel. So I have like things like Overload, Warp, and Pull. Oh, I'm sorry, and Throw, and Tech Armor. And Connor, you've got Shockwave and what was it called? Biotic Rush.
That's only in 2. I can't remember. I had Barrier. That was a big one.
And you had Barrier.
I think that was,
yeah.
I didn't use abilities as much as I did in 2, which I like the abilities.
We're talking about 2.
Yeah. My bad, we got mixed up.
Get mixed up.
I overall enjoyed the fact that I had more specialized abilities that I could use rather than a variety of different ones.
I also enjoy that there are exclusive abilities. It makes each class feel more unique and like an actual change to gameplay mechanics. And characters instead of all characters kind of having the same amount of abilities, each one having their own selective ones as well. Garrus has Overload. Morden has Incinerate. Zaid has the Incinerate. Miranda has Slam, and Jacob has Barrier and stuff. And then there's like ammo techs, and there's more stuff from there. It really allows you to really play around, and you're choosing different squad mates for different missions, and you're really like alternating between things. Whereas in 1, you pretty much just choose the opposite of whatever you specialize in.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're with pretty much the same the entire game. Whereas in this one, you can kind of start rotating characters out, which is a big deal because loyalty missions are a part of this.
Yeah, they added the mechanic of loyalty into, and then in order to help you care more about that, they make you switch around your party more and playing through the game. Because certain planets have certain missions that require certain tools, which certain characters have.
Yep.
So it behooves you to switch your squad around.
Yeah. So from a design perspective, I understand why they make all these choices in Mass Effect 2, and I understand why it's more of a combat focus. It's more action focused.
It definitely never feels like they're changing things for no reason at all.
There's purpose behind everything.
It's never like, well, except for the no crouching.
Yeah, well, and then, but like at the end of the day, like I don't think anybody can argue Mass Effect 2 plays pretty damn well.
Yeah.
If just maybe a little stiff. Connor, I cut you off a little bit. We didn't get your full. How do you feel about Mass Effect 2's gameplay?
Like I said before, I do like the gameplay more. I enjoyed the shooting. I get what you're saying with the overheating, but I've always played games that involve clips.
But
thermal clips. So.
Here's my question though, Connor. ¿Por qué no los dos? Why not both?
Why not both? Why not both?
Depending on in the sense of having different guns that do different
Why
things.
all of the overheat guns still exist in the universe? Where did they all go? They put an in-lore reason as to why, like in the codex, if you dig for it, there's a reason as to why the universe switched from overheat to thermal clips. But where did all the overheat weapons go? Everyone just agreed to throw them all away?
I guess so.
I guess so.
Just saying, like, just
but there's no
don't take away. Add.
I agree.
Hey, my only issue with that is that they did add the two together. Some encounters might be pretty easy if you're just unloading people.
I'm with you. Personally, I don't care the difference between overheat and thermal clips. It just doesn't make that much of a difference. It's the difference between like. It's literally just, okay, I gotta dip into cover to let my gun cool down. It takes 2 seconds. Oh, I gotta dip into cover to reload. It takes 1.5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Yeah. Which, I mean, since you mentioned cover, one of the good gameplay improvements is the cover system. I felt there were a lot of times in one where
don't like it as much.
I felt like there were some times in one where I would just get kind of screwed, even behind cover. Like, they'd be at this really weird angle and be able to easily hit me. And
I had the opposite issue.
Huh.
My only problem is that in 1, the cover's a lot stickier, so it is harder to get off, but I find in 2 that I get out of cover by accident.
Yeah, that was a huge issue for me.
So, Connor, I get what you're saying. The way the geometry is based in 1, it can lead to some awkward shots, and there's even times where you're playing 1, you go, how the fuck did he hit me? It looks like he shot me through the rock that I'm behind.
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen as much in 2, so that's, a benefit. Pros and cons, apples and oranges, what do you prefer is basically where this argument comes down to me, gameplay-wise, for the most part.
Now, I can't speak for you guys, because obviously you didn't play Vanguard like I did. I did also like how they changed the cooldown to all being tied to one thing, because...
You like that as well?
I did, yes. It would look, in hindsight, after just playing Mass Effect 1 and going to 2, if that system remained in place, it'd be a little bit too easy.
Oh, it'd be way overpowered,
Yeah.
which is why, if you look at it from a gameplay decision, is why they did it.
Which even then, I found myself still using powers more for some reason in 2 than I did in 1.
They're a little more necessary.
Yeah.
Shields go down faster. Granted, you have the what is it called? Like rechargeable health. What is the word I'm looking for?
Regenerating health.
Regenerating health. Thank you. In 2, whereas 1 it is off of a med pack system where you have to
Yeah.
work.
Which is interesting because you think of that as being the base way Mass Effect operates with that kind of health system being regen, but in reality it's the packs. You heal with Metagel. Because it's like that in 3 as well.
They tweak it and they find a middle ground in 3, which is why 3 mechanically is my favorite game in the trilogy, just because they every one of these things.
the health system in 2.
Everything we're talking about, from the health to the gameplay to the abilities to the upgrade trees, all of it, they all find a middle ground in 3, which is why it's just mechanically my favorite game.
I do have to agree with Phil, though. 2, the health system works best. Now, not compared to 3. I think 3
I
does
think
best.
3 works the best, but we'll get there with time.
Yeah, but for now, comparing 1 and 2, that was an improvement in that.
My issue is that it turns every fight into a like just popping out and then hiding when your shields break, and then popping out and hiding when shields break. Whereas in 1, if you get pushed and pressed and you're low on health, dude, you're done, and it's because you didn't prepare for this, or you didn't on the fly make decisions that would allow you to come out with the best outcome. It's why I like having all of the different abilities set to different cooldowns, so that I can prep in my mind. I go, okay, there's a Krogan on the field. I've got 50% health. Let me put that soldier in stasis. The Krogan is charging me. Let me hit him with a throw so that he falls down, buying me a second to hit some Metagel, and then use Garrus to overload the rocket turret and destroy that. And there's all of that. It almost works. I've said it before. It almost works like turn-based combat, but just in real time.
Right.
So, literally, I almost want, if they were to give a full remake treatment to the trilogy, I almost want them to go the Final Fantasy VII remake route, where you pull up that menu and you have that. I think would work very well for a Mass Effect game.
That would be good.
It's beside the point. So yeah, that's mostly gameplay, pros and cons, things we liked, things we didn't like.
Am I still on?
You should be. I don't know. Say something.
Hello.
You are not. What happened?
I don't know.
Okay, let's pause this recording.
It went.
Yeah, alright, back after some technical difficulties. That's going to be fun to edit.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Cool.
Alright, so now, gameplay aside, let's jump into some story, some characters, the fun bits of Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Phil.
Yeah.
Being the newbie, of course.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about the story of Mass Effect 2?
I liked it a lot more than 1.
Did you?
Yeah, I like the story. I like the characters a lot more. I just felt like everybody they somehow made how many characters in this game? Like 12, 13?
There are 12 squad mates.
12 squad mates?
Yeah.
They somehow make them all in some way interesting.
Mm-hmm.
More fleshed out than I would say in 1.
Yeah.
Than any of the characters in that.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Pretty impressive feat with the cast.
It's
going
great.
on right there.
And while I don't think the loyalty mechanic is as fleshed out as it probably should be, it actually gets a little silly if you think about it in some cases.
I never had Zaid or Kasumi in my squad once, and then it seemed like, oh, we're best friends after I did this one thing for you.
Literally. Or after, there were moments in the games where after you finish a certain number of loyalties, squad mates have beef with each other. You have to squash their beef. Why, if I help you settle your childhood trauma, why in the actual fuck are you, why do I lose your loyalty after one lost argument? It's just an argument.
Yeah, that is true.
Between you and Miranda.
I understand if you're pissed, but, fucking relax. Why are you now not giving 100% to the suicide mission?
Okay, real quick, something that I never actually talked to you about whenever I noticed it, but in the original Mass Effect 2, was there a system where if you said certain dialogue options, there would be a approval or disapproval by your squad mates that are with you at that time? There was kind of like what Dragon Age does, where if you say certain things, they'll be like, I don't like that much, and you'll have some kind of point system.
No.
I thought that was...
Short answer, no. Who you bring on your mission doesn't matter in Mass Effect.
Okay.
Because I know what you're talking about, that mechanic in Dragon Age. Oops, dropped the
I guess it might got mixed up with those two franchises.
Yeah, the only thing that happens, and 2 does this the least, the only thing that happens is you might get unique dialogue depending on who you bring on your mission. In 2, it matters the least. Just, I guess, because there's too many options and they just didn't have enough time to throw it in, with the exception of a few moments.
We watched a video when there was the bit where you go and do Morden's loyalty mission and you find the Krogan that was like being not Krogan that was like being experimented on.
Like down on himself.
And then you do the Paragon thing, and he's like, "Stop whining, pick yourself up. You're acting like a Quarian with a bellyache." And if you have talent, she goes, "I'm standing right here."
That's pretty funny though.
Yeah. And then in 3, it's straight up like if you have a character that makes sense for them to have dialogue, they probably say something unique.
Yeah, like there's literally guides in 3 centered around bring this person for that mission because they'll have nice dialogue.
I am going to do that a little bit with you in 3.
That's fine.
There's one mission specifically where you have to bring a certain character on. Like I'll be like, you just don't have any choice.
Is the reason you're not saying the character because it's a new character?
It is a new character.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. No, I'll ask you later.
I'll talk to you later.
Oh, I probably know what it is. Okay.
Where was I going with that? Yeah, and then in Mass Effect 1, it actually works a little differently. At every moral quandary, your squad mates basically play Devil and Angel on your shoulder. But who plays Devil and Angel changes depending on who's in the squad. Every character is aligned on a in-game scale between Renegade and Paragon. Liara is the most Paragon, whereas Ashley is the most Renegade. I might have those numbers wrong.
No, that seems right.
So, let's say you have Ashley and Rex. Well, Ashley is further on the Renegade side, so she will always play Devil on your shoulder, whereas Rex will play Angel. And then it just, cycles through permutations of different versions of that. What's interesting about Mass Effect 1, and it's another reason why I like it better, is that members can change, depending on your action, where they line up on the scale. Specifically, Garrus can go pretty much from one end to the other, depending on how you interact with him and the notes he takes from you. And depending on what you do in 1, his backstory in 2 changes from what happens between the time jumps.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's very slight. It's still. Hey, I took a squad to Omega and da. But like, there's just like a line or 2 difference that like puts a different context behind it. So it's really, really interesting. Like all of the like small things that Mass Effect 1 does that you don't get unless you like really dive deep into all of that. Mass Effect 2, undeniably to me, has the best character. Let me not say the best characters. It has the best character work.
Yeah.
You dive deep with the loyalty missions, you get to know them each personally, and they all have different backstories, different, even ones that you knew who are rejoining. It's like, hey man, what were you doing for the 2 years that Shepard was, dead? Oh, you were doing this. That's cool. So it's really, really, really fascinating to me every time that like I dive in, and it's usually whenever I start Mass Effect 2, because it's my least favorite, I always struggle with the beginning hours. It's not until we get to the Horizon Colony that my ears perk up and I start really enjoying the game.
That's when all like the characters open up. Yeah.
That's when loyalty missions open up. And I remember this playthrough. I remember just the whole. What is that? The first quarter of the game.
Yeah.
It's less than a third, but maybe first quarter of the game. I was like, man, I'm really not enjoying this in comparison to 1 because 1 made all those great gameplay changes.
Yep.
I'm really not enjoying this nearly as much. And then I started doing those missions. I'm like, yeah, some of these are cool. Those starter ones with Miranda and Jacob. I'm like, these are cool, whatever. And then the Morden one comes and I go, oh man, that Morden one is fucking great.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, let's go ahead and dive in while we're here right now. Morden's loyalty mission, slight spoiler, I guess, to you, Phil, is one of the more important ones that happens. Because it's one that you make a choice that has ramifications outside of just the character.
Okay.
Which you will see sometime soon.
Maybe. So, let's go ahead and run this through. Morden's loyalty mission with his ex-coworker, Malin. I let Morden kill Malin, but I saved Malin's dad. Phil?
I did the same thing.
Same thing.
Oh, same thing. I saved the data and Malin.
You saved data and Malin.
Because Malin's heart was in the right place. I couldn't begrudge him for that.
It's such a complicated mission.
I gotta side with Morden. Morden thought it was the right thing to do.
Malin just goes too far.
Well, right after you save Malin, if you do save Malin, Morden's like, that's probably the right choice to do.
And that's the thing is, these characters are sometimes wrong.
They're malleable.
And they're malleable, and they're sometimes wrong. This is why jumping to Garrus's loyalty mission. I already know between the three of us, I'm the only one who does this. But I talked Garrus down from killing Sidonis, and still get the loyalty.
Nah.
And in my opinion, it's just the right choice to make.
Do your thing, dog. Take revenge.
Take
He
the
deserves
shot.
it. Take the shot.
Take the shot.
You also get absolutely Garrus's best line happens if you let Sidonis live, where he's got this line of, "Yo, black and white, that's easy, but like we're dealing with shades of gray, and like shades of gray, I don't know what to do with this. Like I'm lost."
I do. Pull the trigger.
Yep.
Easy choice. Easy. Maitland, that's a great choice. I'm like, who knows? He was trying to aim for a good goal, an honorable goal. This guy just won. He's a shit guy.
If you guys ever replay, do it my way. I promise
Do it
you.
my way.
I promise you, you're gonna switch sides. You just have to see it. It's totally different.
We're not saying you're wrong. We're just saying take the shot.
We're just saying Sidonis deserves it.
Yeah. Listen, there's a scale. More innocent, good people die as a result of his actions than would otherwise lived, which is his death.
So, well,
And
there's a conversation that happens in that mission, man.
And
if
family.
you get in Garrus's way, there's a conversation, dude. Sidonis is fucking like fucked up. Like he's like guys, like I can't taste food. Like I wake up and I see their faces. They haunt me every day. I wake up in cold sweats and I'm like, food has no taste to me and I can't breathe sometimes. And it's like, fuck, man, this guy's going through it. It's almost a worse punishment.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, well, it sounds like I just did the good thing. You're just digging my choices in right now.
So many great missions. So many great like little side
Me and
missions.
Connor
The
just
ones
fist bumped.
Fist bump. Yeah,
there was an off-camera fist bump there. And honestly, the ones that like don't, the loyalty missions that don't involve any combat are like some of my favorites, like Thane and Samara's missions.
Yeah,
Those missions are phenomenal. When you just like let the writing breathe in Mass Effect 2, I think it's at an all-time high.
Exactly.
I don't think it's at an all-time high when it comes to the actual plot progression story mission moments. I think there's a lot of choices they do that it's just for melodrama. Shepard's death, just so he can be dead and just have that shocking opening moment where you're like, fuck, my character, the guy I just built is gone. Never mind, he's back.
I do think that has some good story ramifications because things change over the course of that time that otherwise you wouldn't.
It just allows characters to grow and change off screen, so you can get them where they need to be at the beginning of your game.
You're arranging your chess pieces in the right place.
Hey, that's life. Sometimes people
But it's
go away from you.
it's arranging chess pieces before the game starts.
Exactly.
So it feels a little bit like cheating to me. It's just a way to have a time skip and have characters be different than they used to be.
Then they stop death by throwing money at it.
Yeah, and then stop death by throwing money at it. And
Yep.
like, there's no real explanation beyond that. It's magic science and magic money, and you're like, whatever. And then I think the Vermeer Survivor, whether it's Caden or Ashley, they start beef with you on Horizon no matter what you do. I think their reasons are kind of contrived.
Well, they're right though.
Are
At
they?
the end, like, because one of the options you could do is Cerberus is looking out for humanity. They're the good guys in this.
But
Like,
you should be able. There should be some agency in this conversation to where it doesn't leave on such a sour note every time. But no matter what you do, it's a sour note. Like, what happens if I go to the Citadel before I go to Horizon and I talk with Anderson and I get my Spectre status reinstated? Oh, so I'm still, I'm still working for the good guys. I just have to work for these guys because it's my only option. But the Vermeer Survivor doesn't acknowledge that. It's straight up just, no, you're with Cerberus, you're an asshole.
But that even has one.
It doesn't even matter if you have Garrus with you. It doesn't matter.
Connor let the council die, so he didn't get reinstated.
He didn't, but
Like, I reinstated.
What? How?
How?
Anderson's like, I reinstated your Spectre status so you can.
Oh, Anderson did it?
Yeah, he said, hey, yeah, it had to be Anderson who's on the council. He's like, hey, listen.
So what
we
was
can.
your? Because I haven't killed the council in years. What happens if you kill the council?
He basically-
Obviously, a new council comes up.
He goes there and then basically just like, you don't even talk to the new council.
Oh,
No, you don't even have any interaction with them whatsoever. You don't see them until 3.
No, sure
None
they
at
talk
all.
to you because they have a line about how they're like, oh, you let our predecessors die or something.
And 3. They do it in
Oh,
3.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, well then never mind.
Yeah, and 2, Anderson's like, it's pretty much just to look good, but I can reinstate your Spectre status. You won't be working with the council. You won't have as much perks, but it just make it look good. And Shepard, you can even reject it and say, no, I don't need that stupid status.
It's the same thing for if you let them live.
Yeah. Except you do talk.
Except you're talking to the council.
Yeah, you need to talk to the council. It's just Anderson.
Which must mean if you choose Udina,
you talk to him.
There's no way you get your Spectre status back.
He probably wouldn't. No.
I imagine because there is a way where they're like, no.
Fuck Udina.
And then no kidding. And then in terms of like the biggest like flaw in terms of writing in the entire game is when the crew gets captured, where like you randomly everybody who knows how to use a gun leaves to some unknown planet on some unknown mission off screen just so that you can play as Joker.
I thought it was really weird, like before it even like happened, and it was like
Phil was literally going like, "Wait, but what mission? Where are we going?"
It comes off and it's like as just being what?
Because they say something like after you get I think it's after Legion.
It's after the IFF and after you
it goes, and then they're like, "Hey, let's not worry about this. Take your next, use the whatever for your next mission."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, and then it was like,
didn't let you select a mission.
What mission?
And everybody just started leaving.
What?
Yeah, literally, like it's just like this most like contrived.
Also, like
you're just cheating.
Usually, it's only 3 people going.
And it's all 12 of you get on a shuttle. And they go, "Yeah, Shepard, just pick whoever you want to bring on the way there." And you're like, "This feels like you're probably wasting some gas or something in the or something or other." That's very strange. No, I got a lot of issues with the writing in the main plot of the game, but there are great things that they do lore wise. I love that the collectors are Protheans.
Yes.
That's such a bomb drop, and that's so fucking crazy that you're like, holy shit, they're still around, but nobody ever knew it, and now they're literally just tools for the Reapers to control.
I did kind of see it coming this time around, though. It was kind of...
You played the game before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. And then I do like the little twist. It does feed into the melodrama thing that I'm talking about, where like it's just because you framed the camera a certain way, where like Harbinger taking assuming direct control of the things. Like that's really cool to me. And then Legion, man.
I fucking love Legion.
I love Legion too, but I'm so disappointed with how they handle his placement in the store.
I know! It's way too late!
Yeah, it's way too late. All you can do is the loyalty mission, or a bunch of people are going to die.
Yeah.
And I even found out there's missions where you can bring Legion that he has cool dialogue options.
Yeah, like Tally's loyalty mission.
I remember seeing a clip from when you even pick up Tally in the first place. You go and, like, that one commander guy.
You can bring him... Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the commander guy that, like, the Kirihei? Not Kirihei.
No.
The Quarian, the commander Quarian.
Yeah.
Cal Rieger.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but there's a Geth right behind you. Don't worry, he's on our side. I'm not going to deal with this right now. I got bigger things to worry about.
There's also some great things if you bring him to the Citadel.
Yeah, see, and it's just all that...
They say, take your robotic assistant, or something like that.
It's all ruined too, but the placement of that character.
I'm curious if you can do loyalty missions after collectorship. This is what Google is. It's possible to do loyalty missions after guests. Interesting. Yeah. So like, I guess I mean, you can have all these cool moments with Legion. You just kind of gotta go out of your way to do it.
But no, you also have to just kill your crewmates.
Nah.
Yeah, because when you get them,
don't have. Oh, you just do bare because story progression is marked by number of missions completed.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was always when you get Legion, you can do one more mission.
No, that's true. You do one more mission and then the collectors attack your crew. But then if you just go straight there, whoever you have is who you have, and then you can go around and start collecting people.
Huh? No, so you get Legion.
I see.
Guys, stop. Everybody hard stop. So, the game is very non-linear in the order of which you tackle missions.
Yes.
Whether it's recruitment missions or loyalty missions. Those are the two main types of missions in the game. The game, in terms of main plot and story, only cares about number of missions completed before it gives you the next story mission. Whether it's recruitment or loyalty, it's just a number you have to hit. I don't know what the number is. until you get to the Reaper IFF. It's the only mission in the game that they don't automatically force you on. When you go to Horizon, they force you there. When you go to the Collector Ship, they force you there. Reaper IFF, they say, yeah, take your time to get there. So, as soon as you unlock Reaper IFF, assuming everyone who you currently have recruited is also loyal, you can jump straight into Legion's loyalty and then go straight to the suicide mission, and then after the suicide mission, go and do all the other stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I realize what you're saying now. It doesn't excuse the bad placement of that character, but
I might be
still.
incorrect about recruitment missions, but I'm looking right here online and saying loyalty missions, yes, you can do after the mission.
So you can just do the suicide mission with like a really small crew as long as they're all loyal.
Yeah, because there just comes a certain point where you're like, okay, he has enough characters to where this works.
The suicide mission will work.
Yeah, but I imagine, I don't know if you can bring them on the I don't know. Probably a bunch of just weird stuff that you have to dedicate an entire playthrough to figure out.
This sounds like it could have been solved by just not having that timer happen when it does.
Yeah.
And being able to take Legion, or make Legion come out early.
Well, you gotta do it. It's just the way it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Give me Legion earlier. I want 3 Legion.
Exactly. He's great. I love him.
Yeah.
Oh, Legion is great. He flips the entire first game on its head. Like just the idea that the Geth actually, they don't all get along, and they've got a culture and they've split, and the ones you've been fighting aren't, actual, quote unquote, actual Geth, depending on perspective.
Yeah.
It's crazy that it's not 2 characters. It's the same character, but they're both like just separated from each other.
Yeah, they just have their own.
Like the Geth is one mind, but it's just split between
one. It's kind of like a
left brain, right brain.
It's almost
you
as
go one way or you go the other way.
It's almost it's like being of 2 minds of something. And just being able to separate your secondary opinion. So like, this is a really cheesy example, but like, I'm of 2 minds on Mass Effect 2. In some ways it's the best, some ways it's not the best. It'd literally be like, okay, I'm gonna separate this idea that it's the best, but it creates an entirely different
version of you. Yeah,
makes the Geth overall a lot more interesting because
sure.
When you have so many different races that all have their own interesting thing going on, they have their own military, their own walks of life that they go down. It would seem kind of weird to have, even if they're robots, the Geth just to all be of the same mind on everything.
It also
builds better on itself by having Legion introduces a character and introducing that new perspective.
It also allows just so much more complexity with the Quarian and Geth dispute.
Yeah, because they're.
Just getting more.
It's not just Quarian good, Geth bad.
Yeah, it's the Geth just aren't wholly bad anymore.
Yeah.
I love that idea of let's take the villain or the main antagonist, or let's take like
the main enemy fighting force.
The main fighting force, and give you a new perspective on it.
Like they were enslaved. They were going to be put down because they started gaining intelligence.
It's that, and then it's Reaper indoctrination on top of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So fucking cool. Let's dive into this great cast. There's 12 characters, including the 2 DLCs.
There's 3 characters,
quote unquote DLCs. Zaid was there at launch. You just had to buy a new
Oh, really? Was it?
Yeah, you had to buy a new copy of the game.
Huh. That's weird.
Along with the Normandy crash mission. Yeah, that was on there too. It was just the days of weird shit that the industry was doing.
Yeah. As far as characters go, obvious, no one really likes Jacob.
Yeah.
Very boring.
Very lame.
Jacob's trash.
Yeah. Him and Zaid were the only 2 characters that I wouldn't outright like at all.
I like Zaid.
You like Zaid?
Yeah. I don't care for Kasumi, but she's fine. I outright don't like Jacob. Everyone else, I love.
That's the thing. Those besides Zaid and Jacob, I also love all the other characters. They're all great. Jack, I like the confliction of being a terrible person but having reasons for it.
Mm-hmm.
I like Morton being really, really interesting and pragmatic, but also having heart, even though he seems like the kind of character that wouldn't.
He seems like he would just be a straight up robot, but he has feelings and he has regrets.
Yeah. He seems to have the most quirky personality, which really helps by making him just so entertaining whenever he's on screen.
Yeah.
I know Grunt's not as good as Rex. I like Grunt a lot.
I like Grunt a lot.
I like Grunt more.
You like Grunt more?
I like Grunt more.
I fucking love Rex, dude.
I love the camaraderie that Rex has with Shepard after you get along better with him.
My issue is, and Connor, you'll probably disagree with this. Phil, you might know what I'm talking about by the end of the trilogy. I feel like Rex is a different character every game. From 1 to 2, he acts different. From 2 to 3, he acts different.
2 to 3 doesn't seem that different to me. He seems like he's been pretty consistent.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm probably wrong. For spoiler reasons, I can't get into details.
No.
And also, these are 30-hour games, so it's really hard for me to pull 90 hours of content and be like, this is a moment that I'm.
Yeah. The only difference with Rex's character was between 1 and 2, where there was that tension that happened on the Vermeer mission, which they referenced multiple times on in Mass Effect 2 and 3. But like, hey, who would have thought coming to blows on Vermeer to where we are now? Yeah, I like Rex a lot as a character.
I like in 2, since I spared him, we went with like. Did I get him because of his armor, or I didn't have enough? Was it
You had enough.
Was it his armor? No, I had armor later.
Yeah, we did the. No, we did armor first, didn't we?
I don't know. We did. I don't think we did.
Cannot recall.
But I just talked him down.
Didn't need it.
No, because you said before that if you do the armor, you don't need the Paragon or Renegade.
Yeah, you can just straight up just talk him down. Yeah. But there is still a way, like, if you do the armor and then you choose, like, a Renegade option at some point, then you do need to use Charm or Intimidate dialogue.
Because you're being an asshole to him and he gets upset.
But yeah, there's a whole bit where, like, since we had that whole thing and I talked him down, he was like, this reminds me of when we almost killed each other on Vermeer or something like that.
I think I remember that same exact line. It wasn't 2, so, like, the only other notable time he brings that up is in 3. So he had to have said that then. Yeah, love Rex as a character. Going back on it, Miranda is... I still like her, but she's near the bottom of the list as far as characters go.
Over time, she's risen for me.
I like Miranda.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, Tally.
I did not like her at the beginning. I was like, the fuck?
Yeah. You're not supposed to. Cold-hearted bitch.
I mean, she still is,
describe her.
But...
Only
her armor melts pretty fast.
Yeah, only to those that doesn't know her.
Yeah, she was mean to those guys in the dating app. Very mean to them. Some of them deserved it, but others didn't.
Yeah, so character's great. Story has cool moments, but, overall flawed.
Yeah.
But, some great stuff here in Mass Effect 2. You want to dive into a little bit of DLC talk, boys?
Sure.
DLC talk. I'm trying to compromise my thoughts are.
So overall, obviously the Kasumi and the Zaid loyalty missions.
Yeah.
I like both of those missions. I like Zaid's a little more.
Really?
Really?
More than the James Bond?
Yeah.
It's cool. I guess because I've played this trilogy so many times that it gets a little old.
Zaid,
kind of walking around clicking buttons.
Zaid was one of the only loyalty missions I didn't also like either.
Oh, I like Zaid's. I like Zaid's mission. It's the only it's like the most redeeming part of him in 2.
Huh.
Because you don't get the normal dialogue wheel with those two characters.
No, you do not. Which with Kasumi, I told you this before, is disappointing because I like her.
I don't think Kasumi has the best actress either, personally. But she comes off a little flat sometimes. Or not flat, one note. She comes off a little one note to me.
He always sounded mischievous.
From there's a nice little, nostalgia kick in the Normandy crash mission where you're going around collecting dog tags and monument and stuff.
You got little flashbacks and shit.
Yeah, it's cute. Gives Navigator Presley a nice little arc through a damaged data pad.
Yeah, that was the best part of it. That was honestly the only part of the DLC I liked outright.
You get your helmet back.
Yep.
Your crash helmet. It's in your room.
You do get that.
Actually, never mind. Yeah, I did like that little
And
addition to your cab.
To probably, I believe it's Overlord. Was the first piece of actual DLC.
That's the one with the
that's the
AI, right?
Yeah, the AI, the rogue AI thing. It's fine.
The ending shot that over from being very boring and bland to being more interesting because it was, the tone of it was darker than what a lot of Mass Effect had.
Dude, it gets so dark.
Yeah, I mean, it did.
So dark.
But I can understand you not liking that DLC. That's a very understandable one to fall
Just a lot more shooting, and then I hate the Hammerhead.
He's just pissed off about the Hammerhead and the Mako.
I hate the Hammerhead, man. The Mako was better in every way.
It's not.
I said it.
It's not. Well, what was your final?
I don't care if I'm objectively wrong, but it's better in every way.
There's not enough going on with the Hammerhead for me to say that I like it more than the Mako.
But you can jump. You can platform.
You can also.
And it sucks.
You can also.
It works. It's easy to do.
You can also jump in the Mako, but there's just no platforming.
And the Mako got me stuck a couple times.
I just feel like there's just nothing to really do with the Hammerhead. I said that the best vehicle section in all of it is the bit where you're in the car flying around, fucking Attack of the Clones scene in Shadowbroker.
Oh, in the Shadowbroker. Yeah, I mean the car is cool, but it's so on rails, and it's
that's the best video
just move
section.
left or right, and it's like, alright, cool.
Well, I guess for you,
I like the set piece of me just running running through all the traffic and chasing down.
I mean, it works as a thrill ride. Feels very Uncharted-y, but no. Uncharted 2's out by this point.
It was a good set piece. I like it a lot.
you got to dodge bombs. You got to dodge collapsing freight trains or freight cars.
Trucks coming towards you.
Yeah. So let's go ahead, dive deep. Second main piece, Lair of the Shadowbroker, boys.
Very good.
That's the second one?
The second one released, yeah.
Oh, okay. So Arrival was last?
Arrival was last, yeah.
I remember that being last, yeah.
Yeah, because Arrival is just set up for 3.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shadowbroker. Heralded as one of the greatest DLC packs of all time, and it's hard to disagree.
It's very good.
It's very good. You know, Liara returning to your squad for a little while.
Can you make sure that I'm still going, by the way?
You're still going.
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye on it.
Alright.
Liara returning to your squad for a little while. Her getting a great character arc throughout that whole thing, and becoming the Shadowbroker, and that little meeting you have with her in her cabin is so well written.
It just felt like she became like her change from 1 to 2 is almost feels almost night and day, like with how much she comes out of her shell, and she gets way more fleshed out.
I feel that. I feel like a lot of it helps being the DLC helps a lot with that, because when you first meet her and it's I'll flay you alive with my mind or whatever, you're like,
she's obviously trying to scare this guy.
Yeah, but I guess you could also interpret it as she's probably just throwing out some empty threats. Just
that's what I'm saying.
It's cool, and
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, she literally drops the line from Benezia, so it's like you can see it from her perspective of she's not a different character. She's just kind of putting up a good front.
It's funny you say that. Right before I came over here, she makes a callback to that moment where she's like, I wasn't really gonna do it.
Oh, I know what you're talking. That's a 3 moment.
Is that 3?
Yeah, but that's more of a like an ingest, in the moment, you know how it is, type thing.
I'm a little crazy, I'm a little wacky, We have fun.
But yeah, and then has one of the better boss fight encounters in the entire trilogy.
Yeah.
This trilogy does not do boss fights well.
No, it does not.
I don't think. Except for a few moments, and this is one of them.
Fighting normal enemies works, just not bosses. It's not made for it.
Phil, what did you think of the Shadowbroker DLC?
I destroyed him.
The DLC as a whole.
Oh, I'm talking with the boss. It's good. My thing did it again.
Oh, so it did. Just hold the power button. Turn it back on.
Power button, eh?
On the other headphone, buddy.
Okay.
There you go. I think it's on some kind of standby timer. I don't know why it's doing
okay. Well, does it not know that it's being used?
Apparently, because I have that issue when I use it for the PlayStation. Anyways, yeah, the DLC, it's good. Yeah, what do you think of the Yarg or the Yogg?
Yogg. I mean, I only know one.
You only know one.
Did you read the file?
He's dead now.
No, he didn't.
It doesn't go into in depth as much as I thought it would have, because I didn't read it actually back when I first did the DLC all those years ago. I added a little bit to him, to the race of being that he's from, which doesn't really matter. It's never get more about.
It's an undeveloped world. The Yogg are just we kind of just leave the Yogg alone because they're kind of just
assholes.
Yeah, they haven't evolved to the point to where they can join the community.
No.
Yeah, Shadowbroker, great piece. Arrival, final piece of DLC. I like Arrival. I think it's cool.
Arrival.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one that didn't like it. I got very, very bored very, very quickly.
Really?
Because
it's not even that long.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that they throw enemies at you when you're by yourself. And it's just, I never really enjoyed my time fighting.
They're definitely stretching out combat encounters because you don't have nearly as much firepower as you usually do.
Yeah. And that's what makes up for it. It's just an hour of throwing it into you. What?
That's just them trying to slow you down.
Yeah.
And then there's also all the faux choices of are you gonna warn the Batarian colony? Oh, you don't get it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just overall, it's kind of a waste of time almost.
It is purely just set up for where Shepard's story starts in 3.
You still have to do it. I said it was a waste of time. You still have to do it. Or you should.
I also like there's a little like touch at the end where depending whether or not you've done the suicide mission by the time you do the Arrival DLC, the hologram you talk to is different at the end. It's either going to be the Collector General, because the game hasn't revealed that the Collectors are just being directly controlled by or Harbinger.
Harbinger is just a Reaper.
Yeah.
Even though I totally called that.
Yeah, you called Legion. You could have called it.
I did also call Legion.
It was good for you.
I was talking to Tavin at work one day, and I was like, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to brainstorm what this last character is, the last squad mate. And I came to the conclusion that it would be definitely dramatic if they got a Geth, because then there would be a lot of talk between Tali and whoever this little Geth guy is.
I hit him with the Phil. The Geth are a hive mind.
I know you told me that.
If one is your enemy, they're all your enemy. Little do you know. Little do you know.
But
anyways,
you still thought? Did you think the entire time that it still was the Geth?
Well,
You called it, but then after Tavin said that, we were like, yeah, it's probably not Geth.
Well, I mean, I was like,
there's a little bit.
I mean, we'll see. I was like, they don't have two of this alien. They don't have two of this one.
Mm-hmm. Could have been a Batarian. Who knows?
Could have been a Batarian.
I would have been like, fuck you, because you destroyed my because I was a colonist. That was my background.
Yeah.
I said it when we were on stream. It's okay to be racist against Batarians. It's okay.
It's not.
It is.
Nope.
It totally is.
Hey, I saved that one Batarian in the like the area with the virus where you go.
Oh yeah, you gave him some intel and stuff.
Just because you're racist doesn't mean you want them to die. You just don't like them. That's all that means.
I'm not racist.
I said that too, but I am. That's what I said.
All right.
Two Penny Games cast is not racist.
Any other missions or moments in the game that we want to touch on, boys? Any gameplay moments we feel like we want to reach back to? Romancing. That's a great. I totally blanked on that. Yeah, you're right. I romanced Garrus.
We all made different decisions because you're playing as a girl.
I'm playing as a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucked Garrus.
I did Miranda.
You did Miranda.
Tally.
She's
just too cute of a character.
You saw her face.
She's so adorable.
And then you saw her face.
But I actually didn't.
Oh, did you? Well, no, you didn't. Shepard did.
Shepard did. Shepard
sees that face.
He saw more than face.
He does more than see the face.
He does a lot.
No, yeah. I mean, all three valid choices. I mean, all of them are valid to me except for Jacob.
Actually, yeah.
He told me that if you choose Jacob, he cheats on you in 3.
What?
Yes. When you pull up to Jacob in 3, he is with another woman, and she's pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Jacob sucks, man. Jacob's trash. I would have let him die in my suicide mission if it wasn't tied to a trophy.
Funny enough, I just I was curious.
Left behind,
I was curious what people said, and they were ranking the worst characters. And with Jacob was at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like the list, the people were listing him at the
Jacob's
bottom.
the only character in the entire trilogy I don't like.
Yeah. It said something about how it's good you can kill him. That's the best part about him.
It's good that you can kill him.
Literally, bro. Like, fuck Jacob.
But don't though, because he'll cheat on you.
No, man, I love Garrus. Garrus is my man. He's always got my back.
All about that scaly cock, huh?
Yeah, buddy. Hey, he's literally like the definition of, my best friend and my lover. Like, fucking love Garrus.
Tavin saying that.
I know.
You see, you're
about a dude.
Tavin, we've been telling you for years now. Just come
Let's leave this out of the podcast.
Let's not do that.
We gave him enough trouble the other day.
Oh my god. Nah, but I love Garrus. But Miranda's great as well. She's a little freak, inviting you down to the engineering deck, doing it all out. There's windows out there, man. You're giving people on the crew deck a show.
Miranda does that? I don't remember.
Yeah, she takes you to the fucking engine room. Yeah.
Huh. Oh, on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I remember seeing that a long time ago.
Pretty much like right next to where you usually talk to Tally.
Mm-hmm. Tally's just there. Okay.
And then Tally's great too. Tally is always my pick if I ever play as a male Shepard. Tally's usually my pick. If it's not, of course, Liar.
You can't.
But in Mass Effect 2, I'm hitting that tally.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's great. She's just so adorable.
She's a good character too. I like that.
Yeah. Great character.
Is
This
there any-
motherfucker over here just fucking can't connect with Tali like he's a fucking
Look,
asshole.
I like her more than I liked her in 1.
He did. I was there. He even turned his opinion around a little.
I was just goofing on you, Tavin, because I know you love Tally, so I was saying all the stupid
You were
shit.
doing a little troll.
You're a piece of shit.
I do a little troll. But no, I in that Legion loyalty mission, I was like, if it comes down to Legion or Tally, I'm choosing Legion.
No. All right.
It
Phil.
was just a goof. It was just a gaff.
Phil, we do ratings.
We
We
do.
put
We do
scores on
number
games
scores.
on this series here.
Yep.
How are you feeling for Mass Effect 2? Put a score on it.
Mass Effect 2?
Yeah.
What did I give Mass Effect 1 a 7?
I feel like he was 7. I don't know.
Mass Effect 2 is
Yeah.
7.5.
7.5.
Oh, you do halves.
That's
Some-
solid.
some- Sometimes.
Solid. I don't remember what I gave the first one. I feel like it was an 8. I feel like it's an 8 now. First one, 8. Change. If I said 7, it's an 8 now. This game, also an 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I would, since I never said anything about Mass Effect 1, I'd give that one a 7,
Yeah.
which is good to me. Then 8 for Mass Effect 2. Just put it over a little bit.
Mm.
Maybe if I did halfsies, I would go 8.5. 8.5.
Higher than an 8
Hey,
in Connor's eyes.
because it's not a 9, but it's definitely an 8. Bare minimum.
Spoiler: all 3 games are 8s to me.
As it stands right now,
They've all got issues, but they've all got things they do better than every other game out there.
3 might be a 9. If my enjoyment stays the same.
We'll find out next time, Connor.
Have you beaten 3 yet?
What?
Have you beaten 3
No,
yet?
I was
No, he's not even a third of the way through.
Yeah. We'll tell you right now, Omega DLC, long.
Long DLC.
I went in there like, okay, I'll do like an hour and a half. It's like,
It's probably 2 hours.
probably 3. For how much I was doing.
No.
I spent a long time.
You're
in that
slow.
game. Well, I did try to look for the couch.
You tried to.
You didn't get it right away.
I don't remember. Anyways, all right, moving on. That is gonna do it for our After the Hype Mass Effect 2. Great game, great friends, great time. Phil.
Yeah.
Hype. Have you ever played? We play over at twitch.tv/2pennygames.
Yeah, we do.
Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Time. We're going live this week, just like we go live every week, but it's my time to play a new game that I've never played before. What are we playing this week, Phil?
What's my name?
Phil.
One more time.
Philip.
Good boy. Well, not good boy for saying Philip, it's Phil. I don't know, we're playing Crash Bandicoot, Tyler.
We're playing Crash Bandicoot. It's gonna be a good time. Some
You're gonna die a lot.
2.5-ish, 3D-ish platforming, good time. Linear game, good time.
The new one, right?
The
Insane
Insane Trilogy version?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane Trilogy of Crash 1.
Okay. Yes.
There it is. Alright. Well, until next time, if you're watching this on Tuesday when it comes up at 8 a.m., come check us out. We're probably live. If you're coming from the podcast, come join us tomorrow. And until then, everybody have a great rest of your day. Phil, Connor, first time I get to say this. Say goodbye to the people.
Connie, you say it first.
Bye.
Bye!